you doing today? Welcome to Season 4, Episode 16 of The Buzz with yours truly, Mama T. We have another great episode for you tonight. So now you guys know, if you follow the show, we have interviewed some interesting people from all kinds of different professions. We've interviewed visual artists, DJs, promoters. We've interviewed local, regional, national, international, even some indie artists. Tonight we've got a special treat for you. We have a man named Wade Simmons. He is an indie filmmaker. He is a songwriter. He is a funeral service worker, and now he's into pro wrestling. So, little bit of everything for everybody. I can't wait to introduce him. So let's hear a quick message from Grand Forks Best Source. We'll be right back. Today's episode is sponsored in part by Grand Forks Best Source. They're a cutting-edge local media broadcasting studio with captivating shows, on-location event coverage, and unparalleled advertising opportunities. Grand Forks Best Source has become a haven for podcasters like me seeking to bring their visions alive. If you're a podcaster looking for studio or platform, or a local business seeking to advertise, go ahead and email Paul at local@gfbestsource.com. You can call him at 701-740-9337, or you can go to their website that's listed on your screen there, gfbestsource.com. Tell them Mama T sent you. Welcome to the show, Wade.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. How'd you like that introduction?
I love it. It was fantastic.
Perfect. So let's get right into it. So you do all of these different things, and they are so different from each other. Well, like filmmaking, you like the filmmaking, you do the soundtracks for the films that you do, correct?
Absolutely.
So what kind of films do you do?
So actually, I make a lot of short films. I'm kind of trying to move away from that. Like I like really now making documentaries, but for all of my films, I'm in charge of also helping create my own music. Like I do have a young lady by the name of Akira Caven. We went to film school together. She was in the music department. I was in film, and so we kind of collaborate. Like cause look, I love music. Like I feel like music is you really can't have a decent movie without like a nice score to it, right? Like you gotta have like a nice piece of music that kind of help push the story. And so I work with her as far as like putting the music together, but also there have been some episodes where I have also written music for my web series. I like writing, I like poetry, things of that nature. So, songwriting it kind of took a little work for me to kind of learn how to do it, but I like it. I like it. And to me, like the one thing about a song, right, is like, for me, it's kind of like when I think about like a lot of the artists that I listen to, I like artists who make music that kind of relates to like who they are. And so a lot of times in the songs that I write, I try to, create things that kind of fit kind of like the persona that I have, writing music is fun. It wasn't easy at first, but like once I kind of started taking a jab at it, it kind of started coming a little naturally,
How many films have you made? Like what
so in total,
what are they about?
So in total, I made over 40. I have about like 27 of them on my Vimeo. Some I still have, like I want to kind of rework them a bit, but most of my films are really kind of like, so put it like this. So when I first started, I didn't really know like what type of films I wanted to make, but I knew that like I wanted to, make something. And so I remember like I was working on this web series that was like loosely based off my life, like going to mortuary college. Because I went to film school literally right after mortuary college. And so my teacher was like, Wade, you got a unique story. Like you're a young black man from Chicago. You work in a funeral home, man. Like you should tell your own stories. And so from that, I did the first episode to my web series called Repeat, which was kind of based off me going to mortuary school, which the main actor didn't show up. So I not only wrote it and produced it, I didn't direct it, but I ended up having to act in it as well. And so for the last almost 9 years, I just kept the web series going, and so most of my web series is kind of more like, just about love. Like I like love is like one of those really big themes that I have. And so like it ended up turning into like, because at first it was more narrative, but then over time they became more like visual poems, which is kind of cool because like I also like poetry. So I'm just like, you know what? I like to make the kind of stuff that I like to make, because I think one of the things about being a creative is like not introducing the world to what they already seen before, but to introduce them to the part, that you are, like to introduce them to something unique and something different, because honestly, everybody is an artist. Everybody has creativity in them. It's just how we choose to utilize it.
I agree with that completely. What got you into this? Like you said you went to mortuary college and then you went to film college right after that. So let's back up a little bit. What made you want to go to mortuary college?
Well, honestly, I always said as a child, because I was very strong as in my, wanting to be an artist. But as a child, I always said that I want to be a funeral director too. So when I got to high school, I was like in art club, I wrestled and all that good stuff. And so my teacher, Miss Anderson, like she asked us what we want to do. And so I'm like, I want to be a mortician. So she ended up calling one of the funeral directors, in the Chicagoland area. And he was like, just tell him to get a gold tie, white shirt, and a black suit. And so I started working in the funeral business like right in high school. And so right after graduating high school, going to college, it kind of took me some while to get the prereqs and all that good stuff out the way. But I was working in the funeral home kind of like full time while going to school and just did it. And then I ended up being at that funeral home for like 13 years, you know, in the process of going to school as well. But what ended up happening was that after I went to mortuary school, it's almost kind of like law school, right? Like, it's not easy. Like once you finish the program, you have to take a test before you can even sit for the national board exam. So I was struggling to pass the prereqs, and I'm like, I mean, not the prereqs, but the exam, the capstone exam, whatever they call it. But I guess you could say like a prerequisite before taking the national board. And so I was struggling to pass it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find something else that I like doing in case I can't pass the test. Well, funny story was, as soon as I went to film school, after like 7 months of trying to pass the test, as soon as I enrolled in film school, I passed the test. It was strange because while I was going to film school, I was still going out to the other school to finish that exit exam. So I was juggling a lot at one time, but it didn't work out until I took the next step, which is crazy. But hey, sometimes by God's grace, that's how things work out.
So this kind of blows my mind. From a young age, you wanted to do this. Like, let us into your brain. Like, what kid says, I want to be a mortician? Like, what, why a mortician?
I think, I went to a lot of funerals, and, I was always curious. And I think that like I saw the way the funeral director worked with the families, and it didn't scare me or nothing. It's just like, this seemed like a pretty cool career. And so I stuck with it. I did my research, and I remember when I first started working in the funeral business, I spent like, while like most kids my age probably would have been out, like probably want to do other stuff, I was pretty much at the funeral home all the time. And I spent a lot of my Saturdays and Fridays literally at the funeral home. So, I spent most of my 20s literally working weekends because I love what I did, It
And
wasn't like work to me.
what is it
Yeah.
about it that you love so much?
I think just meeting people and just working with people, because a lot of people don't think about this, but for some reason, death has a way of bringing people together. And a lot of times, just people that haven't seen each other in years, you know. And so I think that, like, to me, because when you're sitting through a funeral service, right, it's like you're literally sitting through somebody's life movie. It's like you're sitting through their biopic. Like, it's like you learn a lot about people and you get to see people of all walks of life. Because I mean, I know I met so many people at funerals. I mean, NBA ball players, filmmakers, actors, and just all type of people, lawyers, doctors, hustlers, some of everything.
But it's just, I mean, that does seem interesting. I mean, and plus you have to have that big heart too to be able to, be around these people that they're so sad, and you just want to hug them, and you just, I mean, I can't imagine doing that for a living. I mean, that is just giving so much of yourself. And
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm looking at it now. This year is going to make 16 years, God willing, that I've been involved with the funeral business. But another part of the story is this funny thing happened. Once I finished film school, I still had like the science part, which is the embalming part. I had that part left. So I had a dream that I passed the embalming side of the test. And I went out and I went and took the test and I passed it by the grace of God. And so I was able finally to move on so I can start the process of getting the license. And then, that was another process as well. But like I said, it took me some time, but eventually I got there. So right now I am currently still licensed as an intern in the state of Illinois, which I'm almost finished with that. So I'll be fully licensed here soon. And then I'm also a funeral arranger in California, which I'll be a licensed funeral director there as well pretty soon. So every state kind of has like a different requirement, but it's weird, but it's America, so it's money involved. You know how they.
so, what all do your duties there entail?
So basically, right now, I basically have my own business where I do a mortuary transportation company. So where what I would do is if a funeral home would call me, then I would have to get my license, get my crew, and we go to the hospital to bring the loved one into the care of the funeral home. So basically, I do what's called removals or transfers. So I would go get the decedent from wherever they are to take them into the care of the funeral home. So I've been doing that for about like about 2 years now, mainly. But at first, when I first started, I was just mainly working inside the funeral home, working with families, greeting people, and answering phones, sweeping floors, all that good stuff. So some of everything. Because when you're in the funeral business, you wear many hats. It's a very interesting job.
I bet I can't. Because you see, when I've been to a few funerals myself, unfortunately. I mean, and you see all these different people, and they have to all work together, and you never think about the person who goes to pick up
Mm-hmm.
the person and bring the. I didn't even think about that being a job. I
Yeah.
guess I don't know why I didn't think that they magically appeared there. I just, this is that stuff you don't think about. Like when it comes to music, when a person listens to music that hasn't been around musicians or seen how it gets put together, they only hear the music as a whole. And if it's good as a whole, then they like the music. But if there's that one instrument off, or the beat is off, or whatever it is, it blows the whole thing.
I tell you this, in the funeral business, I meet a lot of musicians. I met so many musicians because, like, one thing about music is a part of almost everything that I do, from the filmmaking aspect to the funeral service aspect, as well as the pro wrestling business, because all of them involves music. Because when you think about a funeral service, music is played. A lot of times, people like to play the decedent's favorite songs. It's interesting, But I'll tell you, one time there was this young lady. I'll never forget this. We did a funeral. It was a memorial service rather, and this young lady, she sung "I Rise Up." She sung that song and she had a really beautiful voice. And it's just it's like sometimes you have a lot of memories of just sitting through so many services. And sometimes you hear some pretty good singing, and then sometimes you kind of like.
Don't quit your day job. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. But and now when you have been around musicians, you listen to music different, and that's why that was another reason I wanted to share your story, because there are so many aspects to all of these things. You know, there's so many things behind the scenes of everything: music, filmmaking, even pro wrestling. My Monday night show I was telling you about, two of the co-hosts are actually pro wrestlers,
Oh,
retired pro
nice.
wrestlers, Max Payne and Mad Dog.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of those names before. They may know the guy that trained me, Steve Boss. Yeah, but yeah, that's awesome. That is phenomenal.
We will be having a break here in about 3 minutes. Before that, I want you to tell me about your musical inspirations, and we'll start getting into the music stuff, because on our next section, we're going to talk about your filmmaking and your music. And then I think our last section, maybe we'll talk about the pro wrestling part.
I love
Sound
it.
good? All right.
Yeah,
So,
but
who are your musical inspirations? Who do you love to listen to?
uh,
Who inspires you when you're writing your soundtracks?
so for me, it would be like Lauren Hill, Snoop Dogg. I'm a very big fan of like Nico Moon. I love that song "Let It Ride," oh "Let It Roll." I ain't got time for things I can't control. I love that song. Like that's like, but I listen to some of everybody. Like I was a very big Stevie Wonder fan. I love that song "As," "Ribbon in the Sky." Like I kind of like songs that like kind of have like a lot of meaning to it, like make you really think about life. I like Michael Jackson "Human Nature." I love that song. Like it's so many songs. I like a lot of old classical music. I even like the song "Don't Stop Believing." Like I love that song. Like that was one of my songs that got me through mortuary school, believe it or not. Because I wanted to quit, to be honest with you, but that song kept me going. But I'm no stranger to music at all. I used to play the clarinet. I used to play the guitar. I did a little singing. So music has always been a part of me as well. Matter of fact, I do want to get back into playing the guitar again. I miss it. And the
And
first
you
song I
know,
learned how to play was the Grapevine.
yeah, I heard it through the grapevine. And that, okay, you mentioned Lauryn Hill. Um, didn't she do what, I think that's what I'm thinking of, "Killing Me Softly"? She remade
Yeah,
that song. Yeah. Oh, that's one of my favorites to sing karaoke. That's
yeah, I love Lauren Hill. That's one of my all-time favorite artists. I love her music. I listen to it pretty often. Again, as a child, Snoop Dogg was one of my favorite rappers, and so I still like Snoop Dogg to this day because I like that he switches his genres up a little bit. I kind of like that.
uh-huh.
I like to see people be more versatile, like not just stay in one lane. I know sometimes people have this tendency where they think you should just stay in one lane, but I think it's fun because as an artist, you collaborating with different people and you're trying something different. It's like it doesn't have to be perfect to other people's standards. It's like, it's fun collaborating with people. It's fun kind of just creating something different. It's art. Music is art.
You said Snoop Dogg, and the first thing that popped into my head was, "Give that guy a contract." All right, we got to cut to commercial, but right after, we are going to watch together. And I'm not saying that we're all going to watch it together, which we are, but it's called Together. So I will we'll cut to our ad break real quick, and we'll come back after the ad break, and we'll do Together, and then you can tell us about it.
Okay.
All right.
When it comes to podcasts and social media, stick with the best. Grand Forks' best source. Keep up to date with local happenings and news, interviews with city leaders, athletes, nonprofits, and of course, lots of feel-good stories. Grand Forks' best source is a great way to advertise your business or events with the most economical ad packages available. And contact us to find out how you can have your own podcast with the best studio in the area. Check out Grand Forks' best source on your favorite social media app. Grand Forks' best source, the Forks' best local podcast. Call 701-213-0863 or online at gfbestsource.com. We love the Forks. Grand Forks' best source, giving the Forks their identity again. This episode is brought to you by AFS Automated Financial Services, your partner for fast, reliable, and affordable payment processing. Whether you're taking payments at the counter, on the go, online, or through a full POS system, AFS makes it easy to get paid anywhere, anytime. They handle credit, debit, EBT, gift, and loyalty cards across every industry and touchless options available for all in-person transactions. Entrepreneurs and ISOs can even earn monthly residuals through AFS partnership opportunities. The tools are yours. The income is yours. You'll get approvals in under an hour. 24-hour equipment deployment or reprogramming. Low simple rates, matched or beaten, or they pay you, and 24/7 live customer service. You get the technology, rates, and support your business deserves. For a free cost analysis or rate quote, call 1-877-738-5010 or visit automatedfinancialservice.com. AFS, smart technology, real service, better business.
Visit littlebobbybuzz.com, your source for Little Bobby merch and music. Keep up with the bar and don't forget about the buzz with Mama T. That's littlebobbybuzz.com.
Hey Live! So today we are talking about relationships. Now, relationships aren't what they used to be. I mean, a lot of things aren't, but I think in the new age of information, we should be, getting things right by now. I mean, my husband gets on my nerves all the time. Hang on guys, my husband's calling me.
Hey, beautiful. I just wanted to join in the fun.
Honey, why would you interrupt my live?
Now, just last week you was talking about how I get on your nerves all the time.
Okay, but I can't have you interrupting. I mean, you know how seriously I take my role as an influencer.
I love you, wife.
Oh, I love you too. I love how every day love gives us so many surprises. Each and every day as the sun rises, I love you. You make me laugh, and some days you work on my emotion, and at times I find you're always joking. But to be by your side every day of my life is beautiful. Even when we make love in the night, my friend, you are not only my lover, but you are also my friend. I love the way you hold my hand. So please, babe, whatever you do, remember that we are committed to each other. And not just word, but in actions. So don't let the world break our bond with all these distractions. I'm yours and you are mine. And with each other, I love you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, I love it. I love making things that kind of like remind people to like spend time with people they love because being someone that worked in the funeral business, a lot of times you see a lot of people bury a husband or wife or girlfriend, boyfriend or whatever. But I think that time is a gift that God gave us. And so for me, it's like important for me to encourage people to like just love the people that that you really care about because like tomorrow ain't promised to none of us. So I think it's important to share love and show love. So I'm really big on like making things about love.
So this together, what inspired that? And is that was that the full clip, or is
Yeah,
that
that
the
was
average?
yeah.
Is that the average length of them?
Yep, I always keep my point short, sweet, and to the point. and I think that that's a beautiful thing because like I know like nowadays it's so much stuff going on online and stuff that kind of captivates people's attention. So I try to be right to the point. But yeah, I was just inspired about that, like just thinking about life. I see so much like negative things, so I try to promote more like positive and uplifting things. I think like negative things drain people of their energy. A lot of people may not realize that, but it really does. So I try to kind of push a different narrative.
I agree. It's kind of like they talk about the white wolf and the gray wolf or the black wolf. Which one is going to win? well, whichever one you feed. And if all you are consuming is negativity, that's what you're going to put out.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a great idea, having them short like that, because like you said, everything is going on and people's attention spans are so much shorter now. They just
Yeah.
they just like a lot of podcasts are only 15 minutes long
Hmm.
because they know that their audience isn't going to sit there. You know, I do have an hour for this show because I feel it takes at least an hour to get somebody's story out there and sell them, promote them, and share their story with everyone. Oh, we've got a couple viewers right now. We've got Ricky. Hi, Ricky. We've got Allie. Hi, Allie.
Hey, Ali.
Um, and anytime, you guys know, anytime you can think of a question for our guests, go ahead and ask it. If you're just tuning in now, we talked about how he is a filmmaker, a songwriter, a funeral service worker, and he's in the pro wrestling business now too. And we went over his funeral service career in the first portion of the show, and now we have watched together, which was it. That's just a beautiful thing. And uh, so you said most of them are about that long.
Yeah,
Uh,
I keep them short and sweet. But yeah, but a lot of my inspirations just come from working in a funeral home, like just hearing other people's stories. Like I remember, there was a young man who lost his wife, and he said it was a normal day. He went to work. He came back. His wife was laying on the floor with the baby. And he came home. His wife passed away. And so, like, when I think about stuff like that, it encouraged me, like, to just, make stuff that just encourage people to, like, love their family. Cause it's look, death happens at any moment. And so, like, it's like you see so many angry people in the world, and so many people like mad at their cousins or mad at their husband, mad at their wife or this or that. But when we realize that like life is really a gift, like I think it changes your outlook on it. And so, like I said, I try to make all my work centered around uplifting and positivity, just uplifting people, It's a lot of things to be mad at, but I think it's also things to be thankful for.
right. And that story you just told really hits home, because that's literally what happened with Bobby. I came home and I was getting ready to go cuddle and watch a movie, and he was gone. He was laying there, and the same thing happened to my stepdad. He came home from his night shift, and my mom was like on the couch and she was
Yeah.
gone, like just out of nowhere, both of them, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with that message. Love them while they're here, because at their funeral it's too late.
Yeah.
Um, Allie has a question. What is one of your most memorable moments within the different fields or talents that you have?
One of my most oh, that's a great question. So one of my most memorable moments would actually, be like the time that I met it was a guy that's named Ron Anderson. He was a musician at the funeral home, and he knew that like I wanted to be a filmmaker and stuff like that. And so he would always encourage me. And so like I remember like I was thinking about like making a film about him. Like I wanted to do like a documentary, because like he was like this musician that like he was older, he was like 75 or something like that. And he just encouraged me so much like that I wanted to like honor him, and I was so glad to go to work and see him. And but then what ended up happening was during COVID, he got the coronavirus, and then he ended up passing away. But I think about like, and I'm gonna be honest, like I have so many memories from like, working in that industry. It's like it's hard to pinpoint them all. But to be honest with you, like I think my most memorable moments is just meeting all the people that inspire me, and even the strangers that I met. Like I met so many people in that business that amazing. Like I didn't even know some of these people, but just the fact that they lost a loved one and they, just got a chance to connect with me and I got a chance to connect with them is always a beautiful thing. But as far as the pro wrestling business goes, there was one lady, and I didn't really know her at the time very well either, but she kept saying, you know what? If they don't put y'all in the ring, I'm gonna stop coming. So this lady was like, I didn't know this lady, but she believed in our talent so much that she like, no, I wanna see these brothers right here be a part of the show. So I just love meeting people, to be honest with you. I met a lot of people. I'm gonna be real with you. But I get inspiration from everybody because to me, everybody is somebody. And I don't just say that, like I really mean that, because from being somebody who works in the funeral business, again, you bury people, you hear their life story when they're gone. So whenever you meet somebody and you're hearing their story while they're living, to me, that's always something to like really appreciate and something memorable. Like I said, I've met so many people, it's mind blowing. But that's a great question.
So, what all goes into making one of these short films? Like I was talking about how like you make a song, you got all the different instruments, you got somebody that wrote it, you got you got all this. What's behind the scenes with the films?
Well, for me, I always start with the writing process. Like I think about like what thought do I have, what story do I want to tell, and then from that, I write it out. And then a lot of times, like lately, I've been kind of pulling the Adam Sandler, like working with the same people kind of thing. But but honestly, every now and then, I do work with different actors. And so this particular project, I saw this actor, her name was Sarah, and I liked her work. And so I told her that I had something for her, and because she's from Wisconsin, and she was willing to work with me. So, I wrote that so she can, have some projects to put on her resume. And I think that was like really like a lot of fun. Like she's a wonderful person. I like bringing people together to work with people, to be honest with you. It's fun. It's like really a lot of fun.
So, with all the stuff you have going on, what do you do with your free time if you have any? You
Right
like have
now, I don't have honestly. Right now, I don't have any. Because honestly, like most of my days, right? Because again, I have a business where I take, loved ones into the care of the funeral home. So at any given time, I can get a call. So I pretty much work on calls. So you can't pick when that's gonna happen. You just have to always be available. But I will tell you what I really do. Like I do a lot of thinking. I do a lot of reflecting. I'm a very big reflector on life, and I try to, keep. I try to keep like myself from getting bombarded with a lot of like negative things. I try to tend to like focus more on positive things. And I listen to a lot of music, to be honest with you. I listen to like a lot of uplifting type of music. I listen to like a lot of positive songs. I'm not biased when it comes to artists. I listen to Western, I listen to country, I listen to rap, I listen to jazz, classical. I listen to all kind of music, to be honest with you.
music heals. That's the one thing. Just it brings out you listen to the music that makes you feel good, that gives you that answers your questions, that makes you feel like okay, why I can't talk right now is I'm looking at this. Where words fail, music speaks.
Hmm.
And then I've got another one. Music calms the mind.
It does.
And they say music calms the angry beast.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
tell you, one of my favorite songs is like the Nico Moon song, the Let It Ride song. The like he said, I ain't got time to think about things I can't control. Like I love that song. I kind of live my life like that. Like I don't give a lot of energy to things that I can't control. It's not, if it's beyond my control, I ain't gonna worry too much about it, to be honest with you. And I listen to songs that just kind of collaborate with my thought process. Yeah.
and there's just so much negativity, what the government is doing, um, who is right wing, who is left wing,
Yeah.
and in the nation is just like splitting. It's splitting
Yeah.
apart, and we need the positivity. We need things like what you do to bring people together. Um, we need to watch more of these. We need to watch more of these videos. You said Vimeo?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm on. Most of my work is on Vimeo, but yeah, I like seeing people come together and that's one of the things that I noticed too. Like, you know, it's like we kind of live in this world where it's like a lot of madness and chaos, and it doesn't have to be that way. It's a choice, but a lot of time people have to wake up and realize, like, there's no reason to hate anybody. We all are different in some ways, but we're all alike in some ways. And it's a lot of division. But I think that's kind of, division is just a diversion to keep people, like, unaware of what's really going on. And so I'm just one of them people that's like, I tend not to feed into that, because again, it's a lot of people, like, and it's not everybody, because it's some wonderful people out here, but it's not everybody. But it's like, it's more, I'm not gonna say that issues are not important, but I think the one thing that, like, the world needs more of is, like, kind of more love and patience with people, because love is not just a word, it's actually a deed, and everybody needs love and support. We're all human. Doesn't really matter who we are. We all just human beings. So I think we can do a little bit better. Hopefully.
Yeah, we all just get along.
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't catch it. No, what he does is his music goes with the music he does. Well, most of it goes with your films. Right. We've got another ad coming up, and right after that, we're going to listen to a good song. And
I love
for the last break, we're going to watch together. It's kind of a play on words, I guess, because the thing that we just watched was called Together, and the song we're about to hear is called A Good Song. And which video does that one go with?
That one goes with all of it. I feel like everything I do is like a collaboration, because I'm gonna be honest, like, filmmaking, funeral service, and pro wrestling, all the storytelling, and it just involves storytelling. I'm a storyteller, so none of my line of work takes me away from being a storyteller. So it's all one and the same. I mean, when you're putting together somebody's funeral service, you're literally telling their story. When you write a film, you're telling the story. When you're in the ring, you're telling the story. So there it is.
All right, so let's get these ads out of the way, and we'll listen to A Good Song by Wade Simmons, and then we will talk about his pro wrestling career.
When it comes to podcasts and social media, stick with the best. Grand Forks' best source. Keep up to date with local happenings and news, interviews with city leaders, athletes, nonprofits, and of course, lots of feel-good stories. Grand Forks' best source is a great way to advertise your business or events with the most economical ad packages available. And contact us to find out how you can have your own podcast with the best studio in the area. Check out Grand Forks' best source on your favorite social media app. Grand Forks' best source, the Forks' best local podcast. Call 701-213-0863 or online at gfbestsource.com. We love the Forks. Grand Forks' best source, giving the Forks their identity again. Grand Forks, start your engines and listen close. The Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show is rolling into the Alara Center for an action-packed weekend you don't want to miss. Saturday, May 2nd and Sunday, May 3rd. Admission is just $10. Kids 12 and under get in free with a paying adult. But here's where it gets big. Raffle tickets are just $50, and only 4,000 tickets will be sold. That's it. Once they're gone, they're gone. Now, those $50 tickets, they give you a shot at over $100,000 in prizes, including a Harley-Davidson Road Glide. Second prize is a Polaris Ranger Crew Cab Trail Boss with trailer. Third prize, a Yamaha Gas Golf Cart. Get your $50 raffle ticket now by calling Tim at 701-739-1605 or stop in at Brewski's. And remember, every dollar raised benefits the Veterans Honor Flight of North Dakota and Minnesota, helping honor the men and women who served our country. $10 to get in, $50 to win big. Only 4,000 raffle tickets available. Call 701-739-1605 or visit Brewski's in Thompson today. Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, May 2nd and 3rd at the Alaris Center.
Visit littlebobbybuzz.com, your source for Little Bobby merch and music. Keep up with the bar and don't forget about the buzz with Mama T. That's littlebobbybuzz.com.
I'm in my space, I know my place. In the future, I embrace leaving a legacy to leave a trace. That's why I wait, keep a smile on his face.
Hey, I was listening to that.
Killing the groove. What's up, Zuri?
I've been calling you all day, Wade.
I didn't hear my phone. I'm sorry.
You always sorry.
I gotta sound like that.
I'm just really not in a good mood.
I mean, lighten up a little bit, Zuri. I'm just trying to cheer you up.
Wade, just don't start with me right now. Like, I'm really mad at you.
What did I do this time?
Whatever. So we still going out later?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll see you then.
See you later.
Baby, just treat me right. I don't want to fight. The pain is so unbearable.
There you go, singing that old sad song. But the concert was banging.
It was. It really was. But it's over now, so back to reality.
Why you gotta be so negative? I'm just saying, like, loosen up a bit. Don't be singing the blues too much. Like, sing something more happy.
You know what, Wade? Everybody can't be like you. Everybody can't think of sunshine and rainbows and look on the brighter side of things.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, you ain't gotta walk around all sad all the time. Like, you hear this song? It's my song. I'm in my space, I know my place. In the future, I embrace leaving a legacy to leave a trace. That's why I wait, keep a smile on his face.
What am I gonna do with you?
I love it. Like, I can't wait to watch more of these. I really have to. I'm gonna have to look this up and watch more of these because it is so true. Like, you can be in the worst mood ever, and boom, your favorite song comes on, or you just, you turn on YouTube and you're just, yeah. Even the producers said that song was edgy. Yeah. It was. There's a groove going. I just want to get up and dance. Like, I don't care what mood you're in. You listen to music like that or watch clips like that. You are bringing positivity to everybody. And, we're going to switch it over here. Now, a lot of people don't look at pro wrestling as positive. They say, oh, it's all acting or it's violent. So tell me how you got into this, because that's got to be an interesting story.
Yeah, it is. Well, so I actually wrestled in high school, and I wrestled my freshman year, but I quit. So I went back senior year, wrestled again. So after going to college for like, funeral service and stuff, I kind of low key wanted to wrestle, but like, going to school for to be a mortician in film school, they didn't have no wrestling team. So I decided like that I wanted to make a documentary on pro wrestling. And so I reached out to a guy by the name of Steve Boz. He's been in the pro wrestling business for quite a while. And so, he kept telling me like, well, come to one of the shows, but I worked on Friday. So I told him, okay, I'm gonna eventually come out there. So when I went to the training center, he introduced me to some of the wrestlers like Sky Blue, AEW Sky Blue, Axel Rico, my good friend, Big Business Levi. Like he introduced me to, all of the wrestlers who were there at the time. And so instead of him letting me make the documentary, he says, when you gonna start training? So I said, you know what? I think I'll start next week. So this was like around the pandemic time. And I'm like, you know what? I think I will. So me and my best friend Jalen, we just jumped in and started training, and it just kind of took off from there. So I got a chance to meet a lot of people. Like I met Scotty Too Hottie, who wrestled in WWE. I met Hornswoggle. I met Carlito. I met quite a few people just, from kind of working some shows in the industry or whatever. But I didn't get into it like for a job or anything, but I did it as a hobby, so I kind of did it at my own pace. But it was a really fun experience though.
Were you
Like,
were you in any matches where like there was an audience and stuff like that?
no, I only worked security at the shows, but I did train as a hobby. Like I said, I wasn't trying to pursue it to go to nothing like that. Like, no, I need my back and I need my neck.
I need to be able to walk when I'm 50.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Like I know some of the other, like I'm gonna be honest. Like some of the other wrestlers, I'm gonna be honest. When you're coming into somebody else's world, sometimes everybody don't feel the same way because some people feel like, okay, if you're gonna do this, you need to be here. You need to do it like this. But me, I'm like, you know what? I did this for the fun of it. Like I didn't do it to go like pro or nothing like that. Like I literally did it as a hobby because I don't know if you know this, but in the film you just watched, at one point in time, I ended up developing like a vocal disorder, which was caused like spasmodic dysphonia, where like my voice, it was strained really bad. And so I went to like a voice therapist and they were like, encouraging me to do like some fun activities and stuff. And so pro wrestling was kind of like my fun activity. So yes, I know a lot of people in the industry. I got a chance to train in the industry, and I actually finally got a chance to do my documentary. We're still finishing it up now, but for the most part, I mean, I left the door open. Like I can always, go back into it as I choose to. But no, I did it strictly as a hobby, and I don't regret it because, like I said, I did it. I had fun with it, and I think a lot of times I would encourage everybody in life, like, do multiple things. You don't have to do it perfect. You don't have to do it to nobody else's standard. You have fun with it, because sometimes when I feel like to pursue something like that, it comes with a lot of expectation. And like I said, I did it strictly as a hobby, and I want to keep it that way. I'm not saying that if I ever get a chance to maybe do something a little bit bigger, I maybe consider it, but we'll see. But like I said, at the time I did it as a hobby, and I had a lot of fun with it, And I still from time to time, dibble and dabble in it. But yeah, to keep my love for it, I enjoyed it as a hobby, I still got.
Who's the most interesting person you met? You got to have a story.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna tell nobody who it was because I don't believe in like, ruining anybody's persona or anything. But I had like a female pro wrestler kind of bully me a little bit. Or at least try to. But some of my friends be teasing me about it. But yeah, that girl was mean. But
what did she do to you?
She just said she was gonna make like, kind of make me quit and all that and stuff. But I didn't quit. I just did it on my terms. I don't know if it's like a way that they try to break you into the business or whatever. But
like
me, yeah. But I'm more of an uplifting person. Like I don't really give a lot of energy to like, stuff like that. Like I just brush it off and keep going. But no, I'm like, no, I'm doing it the way that I want to do it, Like, no disrespect to anybody in the biz, because I get it. There's a lot of people who work hard. I got my brother Jay Bibbs and my brother Big Business Levi and Lennox, who, they're pursuing it more full time, which is good. But like I said, I wanted to do it as a hobby. And I like that because it's just like it's just like anything with filmmaking and music. There are actors and stuff because I've, got a chance to work on some other film sets as well. But when you meet so many people, not everybody wants the same thing from certain things. Like there are some people who make music not to make money. They do it as a hobby. Some people make movies as a hobby. Some people do it for an income. Some people do it for an outcome, some people do it for both. And I think neither one is bad. But I'll tell you what, one of the coolest experiences I had was I got a chance to hang with Hornswoggle at a show. I don't, Hornswoggle that was in WWE, right? Yeah. We got a chance to work a show with him, and he's a very nice guy, very nice person. I thought that was pretty cool. That was like one of my most memorable. But even when we met Scotty Too Hottie, that was pretty dope too. Like he's very nice as well. So it's like I met so many people, and it's like I don't know, like it's just a lot of fun. Because to me, when you at a show, right, it's like nobody's in there like bickering that they don't like each other. Like everybody's under one roof. You don't really know what people think or how they, none of that stuff. Everybody just coming together to enjoy the show. So I just love seeing people coming together. That gave me a lot of energy. Like I said, I did more like working security at the shows and stuff like that. But it's just fun to be there. Like I said, now you may see me at some point do something in the ring possibly, but I'm not gonna spoil that. But
you're not gonna you're holding up the sign, right?
No, I mean you never know. I may hit somebody with a chair or something.
So what would you tell people that say, "Oh, wrestling, that's just violence. That's you're such a positive person. Wrestling is just violence and it's all fake."
Well, there's a lot of more things that may be a little fake that we think are real, but to be honest with you, it's entertainment, And like I said, I do have a background in amateur wrestling. And so I just tell people, if you don't like something, you don't have to like it. It's a personal preference, but don't ruin it for the people that do. And so for me, I just tell people like this, it's entertainment. It's entertainment. It's just like movies. Movies are entertainment.
Yeah,
it's what you make of it.
If it's not the genre of movie you want to watch, then don't watch it. Don't tell everybody, "Oh, I hated that movie." It's a terrible movie because that isn't the specific genre you like. Don't ruin it for everybody else.
I love
we
wrestling.
only have a few minutes left. This hour went by so fast. I told you it was gonna.
You did.
So what kind of message do you want to bring to the youth? What would you tell them if they were trying to get into any of the professions you're in?
I would tell them, do it while you're young. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure just makes people fear, and I think that if you take one step to do what you desire to do, you never know what opportunities may come your way. Like I've had a lot of great opportunities just by taking risks. Like a lot of people that know me will tell you that I don't fear failure. And don't let people put expectation on you. Like do things the way that you like it and the way that you want to, because you don't have to do it perfectly. If it's something you want to do, just try it. And you never know what you can do unless you try. Like I said, I never in a million years would have thought, I knew that I wanted to be a funeral director and I knew that I wanted to be a filmmaker, but I never knew that I would end up training for professional wrestling. And I don't regret it. But hey, just be fearless and just don't be afraid to try different things out. Like what's the worst thing that can happen, right? And again, you don't have to do it perfectly. Like, it's your life, it's your movie. So, you have to push the narrative in your life that you want. So just go for it,
Never
you
give
never
up.
know what may come out of it. No, don't give up. Just keep going.
Never give up. Never surrender. What movie was that? Oh, it was a spoof on like a Star Wars movie with Tim the Toolman Taylor. I can't remember the name of it. Never give up. Never surrender. Oh. Well, this has been a great hour. You are such an inspiring young man. Galaxy Quest. Thank you, Jeremy. He's paying attention. Galaxy Quest. Yep. Um, you're a very inspiring young man, and you are bringing positivity to everyone in everything you do. How can people find your stuff? We need someplace for people to look.
Oh yeah, well you can find me on Instagram, Wade Jedi 99, and you can feel free to reach out. Like I don't post a lot of my pro wrestling pictures. I do have a lot of photos and videos. Like if somebody want to see them, I'll show them to them. But I don't, right now I don't post a lot of that just yet because I'm working on a documentary, and so
Ah,
I want to save some of that stuff for my documentary. But I'm always happy to share information. Like I'm not a person that keep people from information. Like if I can help you in any way, reach out. I got you. I mean, if I can't help you, then I can't, but I'll try to point you in the right direction as much as possible. But I'm all for helping people because I want all of us to win. Like I think, I love people. I love people. I don't really think I have any enemies. I don't make enemies with people. Don't get me wrong, in this world, sometimes people are not gonna like you just because, but it doesn't really matter. I love them.
oh, Allie,
Yeah.
calm down. She does this every show. So, are you single? How old are you? Just curious.
Well, I'm married. I'm married. I'm getting ready to be 34 February 13th. But no, it's okay. It's an honest question. Look, I'm an open book, so I don't mind sharing. Like I said, I don't have any secrets.
Because I was going to ask you about your personal life too. Like, you got any kids yet?
No children yet. Yeah, not
Working
yet.
on it. Practice makes perfect. And with that, I am so glad that you reached out. I don't get that very often. Usually I have to do the reaching out, but I really love it when somebody sees the show and says, "Hey, I'd love to be a guest."
I'm gonna be
So,
honest, but see, that's also a message for the young people. Don't wait on opportunity, take them. You know, I call myself the human crocodile, and the reason I say that is because with the crocodile, if an opportunity get too close, they just snatch it. So to me, I've learned that throughout my career that sometimes a lot of times people think that people are gonna notice you for your talents and skill. Like all of us are talented and have skills, but you have to make connections with people. Make sure you make connections with genuine people now, but but you also have to make connections because no man is an island, so just always keep that in mind. But make genuine connections, but don't be afraid to take a chance on yourself. That's very important.
thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being on the show. I just love you, man. You're so cool and you're so positive, and you just like I might have to bring you back on one of these days. We'll see what other work you come up with, and we'll bring you back on. Until then, I wish you success and all you do, and thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Maybe we don't know what we're doing yet because it's Super Bowl. So we don't know what we're doing next week, but tune in. It'll be a surprise show. I love you guys. We'll see you next week. Today's episode is sponsored in part by Grand Forks Best Source. They're a cutting edge local media broadcasting studio with captivating shows, on location event coverage, and unparalleled advertising opportunities. Grand Forks Best Source has become a haven for podcasters like me seeking to bring their visions alive. If you're a podcaster looking for studio or platform, or a local business seeking to advertise, go ahead and email Paul at local@gfbestsource.com. You can call him at 701-740-9337, or you can go to their website that's listed on your screen there, gfbestsource.com. Tell them Mama T sent you.